Hey folks, how y'all doing today? It's me, Stately. But you knew that already, didn't you? So, hey, check it out, guys. Mojang finally released... Oh, God, the auto jump song. Mojang finally released a 1.13 snapshot that has some actual new content. And we are on our Creative Snapshot server. Might be a bit of a short stream, but I wanted to run through some of the new features to just give you all an idea what's going on. And everybody's complaining already. I'm just going to kill the music. Everybody constantly whines about the music. Of course, they whine if there's no music. But whatever. All right, anyways, floating treetop. Naturally generated floating treetop. They actually have a new terrain generation here, but it's no different than the old one. At least it's not supposed to be different from the old one in its current incarnation. That said, the idea is that it's supposed to be much, much faster eventually. So hopefully chunk generation lag will end up being a thing of the past. That remains to be seen. So it's the Aquatic update, obviously, and that means new water things. So check out the kelp forests, guys. These actually look pretty darn nice. Don't you think? I understand that they're still doing some work on these as well. You can see that there are a couple of places where the water doesn't really properly mesh with the kelp, like here. I'm just going to make it daytime. Oh, they broke. That's interesting. That's interesting. This is probably all very much beta behavior. But here's another example. And this one doesn't seem to want to like break straight away. So the water mechanics, what they're planning on doing is they are planning on rewriting the water mechanics so that water can flow over and through certain blocks. I guess these things break when they hit the surface. It causes a strange visual effect, though. I think they already did some of that, so let's have a look here. Let's try some slabs and some steps. And we'll grab just some random steps and some random slabs. There are new steps and slabs too. We'll get to those in a minute. And let's see how this actually looks. So normally we put this down. Yeah, that's exactly the same. That's also exactly the same. Okay. Good job, Mojang. They do look less ridiculous underwater, but at the water level, they still have the same issue that the kelp has. It doesn't flow over or through it yet. I'm not 100% sure what the plan is with that. It's obviously a bug. There's no way that this is going to be in the final release, Noble. That much seems clear. And if not a bug, then, you know, just something that's not quite complete yet. Because this is clearly not what they had in mind. Man, everybody's stating the obvious today. But the kelp itself is nice. It pops when it hits the surface, maybe? I don't know. Does this stuff grow? Can we plant it? Let's find out. Let's see if we can plant the kelp. I'll bet you can plant the kelp. You can't plant the kelp. At least not on sand. I see some growing, but it's all growing on dirt. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't grow on sand, but it does grow on dirt. Yeah, and you can put it in a furnace. That's also true. Interesting. So I can't place it directly beneath the water? I'm wondering if it'll grow and how fast it grows. Maybe we can try some bone meal. Really? Meal. Let's just try meal. There we go. Yes! Look at that. Even better, you don't actually have to plant the kelp. You can just bone meal the... Thanks, Noble. Yeah, you can do the exact same thing that I just did. Hey, Zex. How you doing? So that's neat. And there are different types by the look of it. This is not the same as these guys over here. This is more of a grass. This is, and you only get, by the look of it, the grass if you bone meal the ground. No worries, Noble. So it's not quite the same, apparently. If you plant this, it gives you the kelp. It seems like this is more like decorative grass, like you find above ground. Yeah, if you guys set the forest on fire. So, you know, you bone meal this, you get grass. You bone meal the dirt underwater. I guess you get kind of the same thing, but that's not kelp. It's all good. That's why it's a Snapshot server. Stately don't care. So, let's see. I have 18 of these. What I want to know is... Now I have 19. So you can break just the top section off. And... Now what? Is everybody going to be a dick today? Is this just going to be the entire stream? You guys bickering like children? And if I break the bottom section... Alright, let's try this. I have 19 right now. I break that. I get 20, but it looks like a bunch of them are floating. Oh, that's another new thing, by the way. If you drop things, they no longer sink to the bottom. Well, they do sink to the bottom, but they slowly float back up, which is kind of neat. And it makes sense with some materials, but maybe not with all of them. I can imagine doing some interesting things with this, though. You could build a timer with a water shaft, for example. So let's say you wanted to have a simple countdown timer. Really? You can't float? Okay. We're definitely going to have to try that. And I think there are like bubble columns, right, that you can breathe in if you put magma underwater. Oh, and turtles. There's turtles. Look at the turtles. Aren't the turtles adorable? Hello, turtle. Look at this. I am so pleased that there are turtles. I'm going to kill one. That's how happy I am about him. Slash TP noble glasses. No, but I can teleport to you, apparently. That's not what I was trying to do. Okay, so here are the water columns. I'm flying right now. Also, new swim animation. Although apparently not when you're flying, because I'm clearly not swimming. So, okay, there is a new flying animation. I'm guessing maybe it doesn't work in creative or something. Not entirely sure what the deal is with that. Strange. I thought that was in, but apparently it's not. Okay, so bubbles, right? Ah, that's kind of neat. You can't really see them at the surface, so they might actually form an underwater hazard. What the hell is that? Oh, you summoning the nightmares? Oh, yeah, and eventually you sink. Crazy. And there is a bit of a wildfire going on here. These things happen. Hey DK, welcome to the stream. So I had a couple of turtles. I was going to go look at the turtles and spawn turtle. Here we go. There's turtle eggs. And I assume these can just be placed down and hatched. I'm pretty sure you can't bone meal them, but just for funsies. I assume... No, you can't bone meal. Do you want rain? Really? No, apparently not. That's weather, set, rain. Huh. It worked before, doesn't work now. Oh, this is interesting. So there's clutches. I'm placing more eggs on top of the existing eggs, and I just did that. It threw an error. Oh, now it works. Whatever. Minecraft being Minecraft. This is kind of neat. I can imagine doing a turtle farm might not be too hard. But I'm curious about what happens if we piston these. Let's find out. Let's put a piston. Okay, let's push a block into it. Also, apparently it's really easy to get charged creepers now. We'll go into that later. Everybody's kind of jumping the gun. I kind of just want to go through these things individually. Do I like the new command interface? So far, yeah. The predictions are very useful. The predictions for commands are useful. I'm not sure how they're going to integrate into like third-party stuff. It's kind of hard to like demo new features if everybody's just throwing all the new features at me at once, guys. So I don't think it dropped and I don't think it broke. Let's try that again. Yeah, so it would appear that if you break the turtle shells before they hatch, they do not drop. Doesn't look like it. But, and that also means that if you break them with a piston, they don't drop or anything, they break. So what about... They do float. That's not particularly useful, but it is interesting. The new biomes aren't in yet, DK. That's good. Thank you. It really is kind of hard to demo anything here with you guys running around throwing things at me. Okay. So let's leave a couple of these guys here and we'll let them hatch. And I'll put one over here. 4. Okay, so you can apparently put up to 4 turtle shells on one block. We'll see if they all drop. Yeah, I gathered. You can break the eggs if you silk touch them, but not if you break them by hand, not if you break them by a piston. So, like an egg farm isn't going to happen. I don't think there's going to be a way to automatically make an egg farm. No, the new biomes aren't ready yet, so we have to wait until a future update, a future snapshot before we get to look at that. But like I was saying, this is interesting. Let's see if we can make some kind of timing mechanism with the new floating item mechanics. Now, one thing this will do is it'll make it a lot easier to transport items vertically. If you've tried that before, you know it can be a pain in the ass. You either need to make a hopper elevator. Let me actually use glass for this so we can see what's going on. Or you can make a glass shaft, but those haven't been reliable for a while. After 110, I think they stopped working reliably. So there's two ways of putting down water, obviously. We can have water at the top and just have it flowing down, and I'm willing to bet that if you do this, the items won't float to the top. Oh, I accidentally placed it. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to drop it. No, it's actually floating up to the top of the water column. Even though the water's flowing downwards, it's floating to the top of the water column. Hey-yo. And there it is again. Interesting. So this is flowing water. There's no water block at the bottom. But the items still float upwards. But as Noble just said, let's try this. Let's put a magma block at the bottom. That should cause anything you place in it to sink, because that'll create a bubble column. And I don't see the bubble column, but let's throw something in and see what happens. And it goes down to the bottom and it just floats back up to the top. How strange is that? I mean, this is useful. Don't get me wrong. This makes it really easy to make an item elevator. So check this out. Item elevators always used to be a ginormous pain in the ass. All right, we'll experiment with that a little bit, and work out what exactly the criteria are. But let's just put a dropper here. No, not like that. Like that. And well, we can put whatever we want into this. Let's put the kelp in. And at top, what we could do is, it's strange that even though the water is flowing downwards, it doesn't actually cause the items to sink. I don't know if that's intentional. Or if that's just kind of a design choice that they haven't made yet. But let's give it a go. This should cause the water to flow out this way, and then we can just block it off here. And then we can grab a button. Oh, right. Spruce jungle button. Acacia buttons. Of course we're using acacia buttons. Didn't realize they had new button models. So the item gets spit out and... Huh. And it doesn't float up. How weird is that? Okay, so let's... Dried kelp. There's dried kelp blocks. We'll have a look at those in a second. So how strange is that? If you dispense it, it stays at the bottom. No, now they're all staying at the bottom. What have we changed? What's different? See, these guys have gone up. This seems a little unpredictable. Does anybody have any ideas what might be going on here? 7 viewers. Hey, 7 viewers. How you guys doing today? Huh. I can actually pick them up out of the shaft here. That's interesting. Let's try that again. Alright, I don't know what exactly is going on here. I'm not sure why it worked earlier but doesn't now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the water. Oh, this is going to be one of those days. Cut it out, people. Hey, Phoenix, welcome to the stream. So let's try the water bucket again. Did I accidentally put a piece of glass in there? Is that the problem? Huh. What is going on here? So the water... And now it's going up again. There's clearly some inconsistency here. Because that probably shouldn't be happening. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, the kelp is now making it up by the look of it. So the water column, I'm not sure if it's there. I mean, if I break this, suddenly there's clearly water, but the bubbles disappear. And now it's floating up again. So I assume there's some kind of bug going on here. The water column doesn't seem to, it doesn't seem to matter if this is all water or if this is one block of water flowing down. So there's just some kind of inconsistency depending on how the stuff is placed. But the bottom line is much, much simpler item elevators. And that's got to be worth something, right? I am definitely in favor of much simpler item elevators. Oh yeah, the Tridents have a bunch of enchants. I'll get to the Tridents in a second, guys. I know y'all want to show off everything at the same time, but that's outright infuriating, so stop it. And these are the kelp bundles, which I'm given to understand work like hay bales. Here, let me... There's no fly command. Okay, I'm in creative mode. Let me switch over to /GM survival / game mode survival. You know what? I should have probably given myself a bunch of dirt first. Really? Just one? All right, there we go. That's changed as well. It used to be if you did the give command without a quantifier, you'd get a stack of 64. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I thought this had the same effect as hay bales, where it would block fall damage or minimize fall damage, but I'm pretty sure 1.5 is the proper amount of fall damage for that. So that's not that interesting. We also have kelp blocks. Let me go back to creative game mode. And grab a bunch of kelp. And this is dried kelp. So you need to furnace it to get dried kelp. Let's go ahead and pop down a furnace. My understanding is that it's not very good food. Oh, that's new. So normally you shift click and the item would go into the furnace slot. Now it's not doing that. That's different. Grab a lava bucket. And we will do nothing because it's not working. Interesting. But my lava buckets. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think that might just be some lag. Everybody's just goofing off and being irritating right now. The turtle helmet. We'll get to the turtle helmets as well. So, dried kelp. Underway. I assume the recipe for the kelp requires the dried kelp and not the regular kelp for the blocks. And our turtle eggs are still not hatched. I don't know how long that takes, but we'll check in on them again. Now, this is so far for me, other than the obvious little visual glitches here, this is awesome. I'm very pleased with this because item elevators have always been an enormous pain in the ass. I can even make, if I'm not very much mistaken, a little perpetual motion machine pretty simply. And yes, the items will despawn eventually, but you could scoop them up and release them maybe or something like that. Oh god, did you spawn in zombies? Alright. Okay, so this doesn't help. This makes no difference at all. The bubble columns do change the way things work, just not the way items are transported. So what we would do is put a sign here. Put we'll need to get some water flow going that way, so we want a water source. And we want a water source here. And then, whoa, clip through the ground there. That was interesting. And different. Hey Joshua, yeah, this is my server. That is to say, this is our Snapshot server. It's not our main server, obviously. Just a little creative server that we put up so we can mess around with the new features a little bit. I think we are going to need to block the water flow somewhere. Oh, I know what we can do. I think we can do this. Not 100% sure if it'll work. Yeah, it still causes the water to flow here. But this is just a little experiment. I mean, what I was thinking is you could create a little perpetual motion machine for items by just dropping them in here. Eventually they'll float to the surface and get looped around. But it seems like they got stuck here instead. Now, one thing that's kind of odd is that there doesn't seem to be a concept of weight. So literally everything floats, including, you know, gold blocks that should weigh several dozen tons. I think it's a good effect, though. What works over where? Oh, you gotta... What are you doing? This is exactly the same thing I already did. Yeah, I know. This is... I just showed that. Oh, I see. Huh, that's interesting. So, the water columns do to some degree prevent things from floating up, apparently. I mean the bubble columns, because if I drop these things here, they slowly float to the surface. But if I drop them inside the bubble column, they stay on the ground level. I'm wondering if you could do something with the squid farm. You know, I'm also kind of curious. Let's try something a little weird here. See what happens when you have the magma and then some air and then water. I don't know if this is going to do anything. I'm experimenting with a lot of this stuff for the first time. So, players, man. Minecraft servers would be so much more fun if it wasn't for the players. There's got to be some kind of maximum depth, right? Those seem to just kind of glitch. I think these don't know if they want to sink or swim right now. That looks funny. Yeah, I hear you, Gecko. These guys are... They're just being enthusiastic. That's what I keep telling myself. The kelp stops them from swimming. Oh, the kelp stops the squids? They're actually taking fall damage, too. Oh, that's not fall damage. They're suffocating. And they're suffocating because the kelp counts as air right now. Which probably eventually won't. I would be a little surprised. Yeah, no, that's the same glitch that's causing skeletons and bats and things to spawn in the bottom of the ocean. Apparently, that's a thing right now too. And it doesn't work on players. It does work on boats, but it doesn't seem to work on players. Let's check in on our turtles. There's gold everywhere now. Okay, a creeper exploded here. And the turtles still haven't hatched. This is interesting. This is something I did see on a website somewhere. Zombies hate turtles. I should give this guy a hat. Look at that. First thing he does, he goes over and starts stomping on the turtle eggs. What a jerk. Right? Yeah, no, the item elevator, the water item elevators that we can make with these new mechanics are completely lossless. They might not be hugely fast, but I can't think of any scenarios where you need your item elevators to be super speedy. So villagers and turtles have something in common. Hello, turtle? I was hitting the grass. They're passive. They can't really defend themselves, but they take a fair number of hits. All right, let's check our creative inventory. Should be in here. Oh, seagrass is something you can pick up. Okay, I didn't realize that. So the seagrass can be picked up. If you bone meal the ocean bottom, you will get seagrass. You can plant the kelp in dirt, but not in sand. I'm not sure what the deal is going to be with gravel. But we can find out. We can try planting some kelp and seagrass and gravel and see what happens. So are these guys not dropping anything? I thought they had drops. They break if you walk on them. Yeah, the turtle eggs can be trampled, that's right. What is this? So, check it out. You can no longer break grass with a sword. That is strange. That's got to be a bug. That can't be something they're doing on purpose, right? Let's try other tools. Let's try a pick. Picks work. No, that wasn't a feature, and it's actually really irritating. Because, you know, you're fighting in your base, and within a couple of days, all of your grass is gone. Oh, is it because it's in creative? I'll take your word for that. That makes sense to me. I've never noticed it before, but it makes sense. All right, so Turtle, you need to drop something when I kill you. Well, whatever they drop seems to be rare. I know there are turtle shells. There's turtle shell pieces and actual turtle shell helmet. So the helmet you can actually wear, obviously. And it gives you water breathing. / game mode survival. I'm also floating. I'm sinking slower than I used to. A lot of this stuff might change. It's entirely possible that a lot of this stuff will change, but that does give me some water breathing. That said, it doesn't seem to be like permanent. Never need air again. Because I did notice it started going down. So let's just stand here for a minute or two and see what happens. Not sure what the visual effect with the water is either. It goes from very light to very dark. I like the new dark waters. So I am now actually losing oxygen. What does that give you? You know what, let's go to the surface and we'll count down. That was maybe 10 seconds before you start losing air. Then when you go to the surface, yeah, it just starts over again. So it'll give you 10 seconds before you start losing air, which is kind of neat. It's not a stay underwater permanently solution, but it is kind of neat. What about the turtle shell pieces? What are those for? I don't have the recipes. There's no recipe with the name turtle in it. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, it's just because I don't know the recipes yet. I don't... Oh, you have to have multiple shell pieces, not just that you might get a turtle shell and you might get a... I still have to get used to the new commands. They've gotten rid of the shortcuts. I'm not entirely clear why. And then there's these Potion of the Turtle Master. I guess you brew those with the shell pieces. Slowness and resistance. I guess that's odd. That seems odd to me. I'd also like to know if the turtles need like companions to breed or if they'll lay eggs of their own accord. So in order to find that out, there's only one thing for it. We're gonna have to make a little turtle cage. We're gonna build a terrarium, guys. That's like a turtle zoo, Noble. Is this big enough? Yeah, that should be fine. Right? Fine, I'm sure they'll be comfy. I'm sure they'll love it. Actually, I don't know what kind of materials they like. So what we'll do is we'll... put some water down. And... we'll put some glass around it. Do you think maybe they only lay their eggs on sand? Should we put some sand in there just in case? I think sand would be more appropriate anyway. So let's see. Sand spawn turtle. You know what? This is cruel. We need a bigger enclosure for these guys. They're bigger than I thought they'd be. That's all right. We'll just give them a little more space here. It'll be interesting to see what their behavior is like, too. Wait. Oh, one of them just went into the water. I was like, did he die? Nah, just going for a swim. Yeah, you can try to escape, but you're still a turtle, dude. You're not going anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can't tame them. I'm wondering if you can feed them. And we'll give them a nice little beach. Life is a beach. Now I guess we'll just wait and see if we get eggs. Maybe they like... Maybe they like raw fish. Oh, hey, check it out. They renamed the fish. The raw fish is now cod. The salmon's still salmon. Yep, they like the fish. Okay, look at that. Look at that. I even got some XP out of it. Well, they like the fish. They're nuzzling each other. I don't see any eggs yet. I don't know what they're doing now. Oh, they laid an egg. They laid an egg. That's so cute. So there you have it, folks. They eat raw fish. We learned something new today. So let's take a look at the Tridents. I think the anime, the item, the icon isn't done yet because it looks a little ridiculous. What was that? Stick a fork in him. You know what? The turtle helmet actually looks a lot like a military style helmet, which is neat. It's nice that they're new clothes, though. I'm in favor of that. So let's go find something to attack with the Trident. There are all kinds of different enchants. We'll get to those in a second. Although, as you can see, everybody else has kind of jumped the gun on that. Okay, so the Tridents have 2 fire modes. If I understand this correctly, you can throw them, or you can stab people with. Maybe they're not even meant for stabbing. Maybe they're only meant as an underwater projectile. Cut it out, guys. Or maybe they work just fine above water. We need to find something to throw it at first. Alright, well, I can just spawn some stuff in. I have a zombie egg here. It is daytime, so they'll burn. They don't seem to do much damage. And I guess they work like arrows in that they're consumed when you place them. I'm going to put down a mob that doesn't catch fire. Let's put down a couple of spiders. Not cave spiders, because cave spiders are evil. But regular spiders. And I will go to /game mode survival. And we'll see what happens with these Tridents. So I lose the Trident. The cave spider is pissed off, obviously. But you can pick them up again, and they take damage. Looks like if you're within a certain range, you'll get them back right away. Guys, let me try this stuff out without jumping the gun and doing all of the other features first, please. Thank you. So I'm not entirely sure why, but where did that... Oh, here he is. Oh, this is not one of the standard Tridents I gave myself. Somehow I ended up picking up one of the ones with all of the frickin' enchantments. Alright. So the normal Tridents, right? You throw it, it drops. There's a reasonable range at which it'll get picked up. You don't have to be right on top of it. Well, it looks like you do actually have to be right on top of it. Okay. In your face, zombie. One thing that's different, though, is the trident isn't consumed when you hit something like an arrow would be. I also don't think there's a recipe for the tridents yet. But whatever. Okay, so there's a bunch of enchants you can put on these tridents. Which one is current entity, nearest player, all players, all entities? It's 9 attack damage. That's actually pretty good. I'm not sure what the syntax is for enchanting your tool. Also, the highlighting seems a little inconsistent. Let's try that again. Current entity, random player, nearest player, all players, all entities. Well, we can do this. Game mode. Creative. Riptide. So 1 through 3. Let's start with 3. I'll just grab an enchanting table and we'll grab some blue and we'll do it the old-fashioned way. I think we need to grab a bunch of these. Let's pop in this trident here. And this guy. And... no, anvil. Not an enchanting table, an anvil. Raining hard today. Alright, let's try that again. 1 trident. 1 Riptide 3 book. So this, my understanding is, can be used to pull you towards something you just shot. Like that. Which will make for interesting PvP. That's kind of the same effect fishing rods used to have. And I think that'll be really, really interesting to see what it does in PvP. Even if you're not able to damage somebody like I just did, apparently it still works. And I don't know if the different levels influence how far away you can be, or how far you'll get pulled. But let's find out. Let's see what kind of maximum range we can find here. It kind of pulls you forward no matter whether or not you hit something, doesn't it? Because, right, I didn't hit Noble there. But I did get pulled to him. Yeah, there's no recipe yet, so nobody really knows how you're going to get them. You don't even have to hit something by the look of it. Really? Just fire straight up and you get launched into the sky? That can't be intentional. There's no way that they want that's part of the plan. Let's try Riptide 1 Trident and we'll compare them. So we'll grab another fresh Trident. We'll grab a Riptide book. That makes sense. I mean, it could very well be the kind of thing where there is no recipe. Alright, so this is a regular Trident, and this is a Riptide 1 book. So, Riptide 1. That's kind of a high jump. This is a little ridiculous. But it doesn't seem to matter whether you hit something or not. It just pulls you towards the area you're firing from. Which is interesting, but not what I'd really expect. It seems to me that if you don't hit anything, it's kind of weird for it to still pull you towards it. Let's get a decent distance here. This is the Riptide 1. So that's like a block or two. And that's horizontally. Oh, hey, check it out. We got a spider jockey. And this is still not that much. Over land, it's not a whole lot. But what happens when we do it on ice? Inquiring minds want to know. It's obviously speculation. If I were to speculate, I would think that this is going to be something like an elytra rather than something you can craft in great numbers. Speculation meant nothing. Half of the websites on the internet wouldn't exist. Whee! Okay, all right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, the shipwrecks. It could also be a shipwreck thing. I don't know. What do you think? Considering how different it is, it's entirely possible that it could end up being something along the lines of an elytra, where you can't craft it and there's a fairly limited, like, worldwide supply of the damn things. Why not? Why wouldn't it be a good, like, Elder Guardian reward? And the Elder Guardians are a pain in the ass. Going through an entire temple? Whee! Okay, so you kind of slow down? That seemed stuttery. Let's, let's see. I don't know. I think, you know, considering it's clearly made of prismarine, for one, I think an ocean monument would not be a strange place for them to show up. But maybe it's for shipwrecks or something. So you only go so far, and it seems like you kind of get slowed down after a while. But that does give you a fair amount of distance. That's kind of neat. We might be able to do something interesting with that. Of course, now we need to know what happens if you have a boat on ice and fire a Riptide 3 Trident. What do you guys think? Anybody want to make any bets? What do we think is going to happen here? Nothing. Well, poop. That's very disappointing. That would have been so much fun. But no joy. Alright, so be it. You know what I want to try? Somebody come here and get into this boat. And the boat's gone. Let's try that again. Yeah, nothing again. And they haven't changed the boat physics either. That makes me sad. If you collide with another player in a boat on ice, basically nothing happens. There's almost no elasticity. You just kind of go clunk, which is a shame. They still haven't fixed that glitch either. So the other Trident enchants are what do we got here? We got all the protections: blast protection, feather falling, fire protection, projectile, aqua affinity, curse of binding, depth strider, thorns. We know all of this stuff. Smite, nobody cares. Bane, nobody cares. Efficiency, sweeping edge, and looting. We got unbreaking, we got fortune. This is all the normal stuff that we're used to. Flame, punch, power, infinity, luck of the sea, lure, loyalty. So loyalty, if I understand things correctly, means they come back. Impaling. These are specific to and channeling. These are specific to Tridents, if I'm not mistaken. So let's grab another vanilla Trident. Spectral arrows. Okay. Nobody uses the special arrows. Those things have been in the game for a while, and theoretically they seem really neat, but nobody uses them. Okay, so vanilla Trident with loyalty. They are kind of hard to make, aren't they? Oh, hello. Right, I'm in creative mode, so I need to be in survival to test this. Let's go ahead and shoot that guy. And I got my Trident back. Oh, hello. Okay, that's a few too many zombies, maybe. Okay. That's a little infuriating. Let me just make some more. I just found like all of them. I guess I can't pick these up. You can only pick up your own Trident. I mean, that may very well be the case, or it might be they're creative Tridents and they can't be picked up at all. Not quite sure. A little unclear on how that's supposed to work. But we need to go ahead and grab new books because I just got killed by all of those zombies that suddenly appeared. Thanks, guys. You're really making it easy for me today. Strider. That's funny. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for... it's all good. Channeling. We've done Riptide. We know what that does now. Impaling. And loyalty. So the loyalty seems pretty straightforward. If you have loyalty on your Trident, it will come back to you. I assume the strength of the loyalty defines how far back it will come. I also... Okay. It's even got a little string effect. That's kind of neat. It's how fast, so it's not the distance. So I can go like completely overboard. Is that what you're saying? Apparently I can. Good stuff. Oh, hey, there's my turtle helmet and the other books that I had. I feel like I need to find some squid to do this with. Try out the impaling. Yeah. I suppose, you know, in theory, you get up high enough, you throw it from the top of a tower, it could theoretically end up in an unloaded chunk. That would be a little silly and really something you can only do as the result of, you know, a special effort. But I guess it's possible. Oh, that's right. The squids now have a defense mechanism. We need to try that out too, guys. Okay, so we got a couple squids here. Maybe some of them will manage to not suicide by the time I've gotten another enchant ready to go. Another vanilla trident. And didn't I just grab a vanilla trident? So we're going to try the impaling enchantment on the trident now, see what that does. Well, there's more. It's all good. Okay. So this is the impaling trident. I'm not sure what this is. Let's find out. Is he impaled now? Yeah, I'm still in creative. I need to switch game mode. Alright, Squiddy. I don't know what that does. Yeah, so it's nothing special. It just causes more damage. Nothing wrong with that. I just thought maybe it drags your victim to you or something. That seems, for like Riptide, it seems to make more sense if it were to drag your victim to you rather than drag you to your victim. But, you know, that's just me. Let's get the zombie. Kill the zombie. This is loyalty. What happened to my impaling trident? Hit you with the trident? Oh, we'll get to these guys too in a bit. All right. So let's have a look at the new squid self-defense mechanism, which is kind of neat. And I'm probably just going to want to hit them with my bare hands to illustrate this. I like this. I think this is a great idea. The new what's with the swim animations? Aren't I supposed to be going faster now? I mean, isn't there supposed to be a swim animation now? I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's something I'm doing. Do I need to run? No, what the hell do I have the running map to on here? I don't even know what I have the running map to. But anyway, so the squids are supposed to be able to defend themselves now. With a... Hold on a sec. I gotta remap my controls with like an ink cloud. Which, yeah. It doesn't give you a particle effect or anything. It doesn't seem very effectual, actually. This is not something that I would be terribly concerned about. They do seem to be able to shoot away now. That's kind of neat. Oh, that's right. I can just do this. There it is. There's the swimming animation. It's odd that there's still the walking on water animation, though. I mean, why would you want that? Wouldn't you always want to be swimming? I'm going to assume that that's just something that hasn't quite been properly implemented yet. But doesn't this look so much better? This is such an improvement. Muy nice. Excellent. I need to... Although, this is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't get it. It seems strange that the walking on water animation would still be the default, and you only get the swim animation when you're, sprinting. But whatever. Maybe they'll fix that. Maybe they have some specific reason to keep it in. I don't know. So the next new feature that's actually in here is I'm showing 0 dropped frames on the stream. So if you're frozen up, it's not the stream, it's just you. What's the handstand? Oh, it's you guys are just swimming down. It's cute. Totally adorable, guys. No egg. No spawn. There we go. Let's find these guys. Probably at the bottom, right? Apparently not. Bat, endermite, mule, silverfish, villager, vindicator, skeleton, ocelot, evoker, blaze, cave spider, ghast, parrot, skeleton horse, witch. I know what they're called, I just don't know which egg it is. There we go. The Phantom, folks. So this guy apparently appears if you've... So this is strange. I'm walking in 1 deep water, right? Normally if you jump... Oh, and now it's not doing it anymore. Strange. They can swim. Who said they weren't aquatic creatures? Aquatic creatures. Creatures of the deep. They're manta rays, guys. I'm on to them. They swim just fine. Look at them go. Really, they drown? Because they don't seem to have much of a survival instinct. This guy's doing his very best impersonation of a jackhammer. That's funny. Already better than the Phantom Menace. Yeah, the Star Wars Christmas special was better than the Phantom Menace. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over the new blocks in a bit too. It seems pretty obvious that that's a bug. Yeah. These guys are really, really dumb. What is your major malfunction, dude? However, there's something else I want to show you, and I need to dig this up real quick. Give me just a second. I bookmarked this. I did bookmark this, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. I think Noble might have it. Let's give it a go. Summon. Minecraft. Phantom. I like this, by the way. Yes, the location is fine, I think. And the MBT should be size 500. No. Okay, let me check the syntax real quick. MBT tags are here. We Googling it. Stand by and we'll work it out. That's not it. Here we go. Curly brackets instead of square brackets. This is the problem. It's not like I've never worked with NBT before. Okay. He is not size 500. Maybe 500 is a bit much. No? 100? A bit much, maybe? Oh, the size tag is case sensitive? Is that what you're saying? Oh my, yes. Oh my. Yeah, so you're right, the size tag was case sensitive, but it is curly brackets and not square brackets. Y'all having trouble keeping up? Is he being suicidal? So let's see how big they can go, guys. Oh my. That's that's enough to kill a server right there. Yeah, you and me both. Okay, so note to self, don't summon size 500 phantoms if you want your server to not die. That's hilarious. That is beautiful. That is a thing of absolute beauty. It's just the frame rate's a little problematic. Did he despawn? I guess he might have despawned. So there's probably some kind of reasonable middle ground. This guy, for example, is impressively large, but not so huge as to kill the server. Oh. Oh, the other one's back. The glitchy one is back. That's F3 and B, right? Yeah. So I don't know if he's despawning or if Minecraft just decided to stop rendering him. Nope, there he is. That's clearly too much. That's more than the game can deal with. And we crashed the server. All right. Let's get her back up. Note to self, do not summon size 500 phantoms. So, another thing that I'm suddenly wondering, if the phantoms can be scaled, can everything now be scaled? All right, Snapshot. A single server tick took 60 seconds. Yeah. All right. Let's get the server back up. This shouldn't take too long. And it should be back up now. And I don't see the phantom anymore. / kill all kill a random player. That's useful. Kill. Well, let's just kill all the entities. That should make the problem go away. There we go, including me. Well, it should be gone now. I just killed all entities. That should take care of it. Didn't work. It's still there. It's clearly still here. Odd. So let's try this again. Kill current entity, kill nearest player, kill all players, kill all entities. That's what I did the first time, though. And it still came back. I say we just go somewhere else. Right? If it's not loaded, it's not a problem. What have we here? Okay, I'm going to turn these hitboxes off because they irritate me. But if we can summon... well, okay, maybe we should just summon him on the ground. If we can summon a giant nightmare thing, phantom, can we summon a giant anything? No. Alas. I know it works on slimes. I know slimes are scalable. I was just hoping to be able to create a giant pig, because that would have been hilarious. No giant pigs, right? I'm a little unclear on why some things are and some things aren't scalable. Turtles clearly not scalable. Of course, the next important experiment is, can they fly? No, turtles cannot fly, people. We've learned something important and interesting on today's stream. Turtles can't fly. And these guys are still happily brooding on their egg. Now, this hasn't been loaded in a while, but test negative, exactly. Somebody make a note. Turtles can't fly. The eggs seem to hatch very slowly. Compared with other creatures and how quickly they breed, this is obviously much slower. All right, so what have we not gone over? What new features are there that... Yeah, I know you can trample them. But I have no real desire to do that. Because at some point I'd like to see, you know, the actual turtles hatch. Oh, that's right. All of the new blocks. We haven't even looked at the new blocks, guys. So, y'all have already seen the... Oh, the lightning, too. Yeah, we need to go over that one as well. You've already seen the new buttons, but this is kind of neat. All of the logs now have a stripped variant, which is still a log. And it still has directions and facings. God, if he even said please so much as once, I might actually do it, but he just keeps demanding that I teleport him without so much as a s'il vous plaît. But, check it out, you can take the bark off all of these. And these blocks, I think they look pretty good. I'm pretty sure you can come up with interesting things to do with these. And new pumpkin? Oh, the pumpkin doesn't have a face on it? Just the jack-o'-lantern has a face now. Which makes sense. It was always a little weird that the pumpkins had faces. Oh, this is new. It used to be the jack-o'-lanterns would always face in one specific direction. Ah, okay, so we have jack-o'-lanterns, we have regular pumpkins, and we have carved pumpkins, which are jack-o'-lanterns without a light source. And they can all face any direction, which is kind of cool. I'm in favor of that. They can be placed on the side of a wall. I didn't realize they couldn't, but there you go. you can place jack-o'-lanterns and carved pumpkins, and regular pumpkins, on the side of walls. We also have new stairs. Every type of prismarine now has a stair, in addition to purpur. And the same is true as slabs. Yeah, sure, go ahead and put down the slabs. That way people can see those too. Come on, Staley. This shouldn't be too hard. These ones, the prismarine ones, and in particular this guy right here, are going to be fantastic for roofs because that looks like oxidized copper. And I'm very much in favor of that. So this is going to make building a lot more interesting. And of course, there are the new trapdoors. We have the dark oak trapdoor and we have the acacia trapdoor, and they all kind of mimic their regular door versions. So take the dark oak trapdoor and the dark oak regular door. Actually, those don't match very good, do they? Sorry. And of course we have the different pressure plates now too, which definitely useful. This is just variety, and a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's been in Quark forever. But I'm still very much in favor of this. We have the purpur slab, of course. And the chocolate bars. We've got the logs with the bark stripped off. We've got the new pumpkin types. We've got, what is this? Right here. What is this? Arrow of the Turtle Master. That gives slowness. Oh, right. We have the, thank you for setting that up. The channeling thing. So the channeling thing is kind of neat. It will charge a creeper if you hit it while it's storming. So if we take a trident of channeling, and is it just tridents that it works on? Let's try it. Let's grab a sword and see if we can make like a diamond sword of channeling. What happened to my channeling book? Am I in creative mode? I am in creative mode, but my book disappeared. That's alright, we'll try it again. Yes, swords work too. So, we got a trident of channeling and we have a sword of channeling now. Let's go ahead and change the weather to thunder. Actually, hold on, let's do it without the thunder just to show you what happens. Regular creeper, diamond sword of channeling. Nothing special, right? Just same old. But if we make it bad weather, and you know what? There's a couple of other experiments we can try here. If we make it bad weather, go for weather thunder, and we pop down the creeper, and we hit it with the sword. Nothing happens. Okay, great. There we go. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it only works on Tridents. Okay. That's interesting. And a little strange. So somebody could have just did it instead. But what are you trying to say? Put me in single player. What does that even mean? Put you in single player. So this sword does have channeling on it. It doesn't seem to do anything. But I do that, and I need to get him to explode. I'm not quite sure how. I have to work that out. So if a charged creeper explodes and kills another mob, a skeleton or a zombie, that mob will drop its head. That's kind of the whole point of this exercise. I wanted to see if it also worked on wither skeletons, because if it works on wither skeletons, beacons are going to be a lot simpler to get. Okay, so this guy's charged now. I could put a wither skeleton next to him. Wither skeleton's just wandering away. That doesn't help. Well, let's take a little box for him. Spawn the wither skeleton in there. Put the creeper down. Charge him. And what I'll do is I'll just / game mode survival. This should get him to explode. I guess he still exploded. But I don't see any skulls. So maybe not so much. Oh, wait, no. That is definitely a wither skeleton skull. Wait, what? Where did the creeper come from? Game mode. Creative. There we go. You can flint and steel creepers. Oh, there you go. That makes sense. I hadn't tried that before. But that makes sense. That's a lot easier than going into survival mode. That said, though, what this means is it's going to be a lot easier to farm wither skeleton skulls. Assuming you can get a reliable way of getting creepers into the nether, or getting wither skeletons into the overworld. Because if they reliably drop their skulls, or if they're blown up by a charged creeper, it only takes one charged creeper, and it'll blow up as many wither skeletons as you want. So that's interesting. It's going to change the game. It's going to make getting beacons a lot less challenging. That seems pretty obvious. Are there other skulls? Are there new heads? Zombie head, creeper head. There's a creeper head. Zombie head, dragon head. Nothing new. But, I don't know. Maybe they'll change that. It seems to me like it takes away an interesting game mechanic. What's with all the water? Is this just people being irritating and trying to make everything ugly? Whatever. Alright, folks, I think that's going to do it for today. We had a fun little time going through all of the new features. And there's definitely some interesting stuff here. I'm looking forward to trying it all out when it's a little more complete. We'll keep the creative server Sorry, not the creative server, the Snapshot server up for a little while so everybody can try it out. And I'll keep it up to date. I'll probably reset the server whenever a new snapshot is released, so there's not like constant debris all over the place. But we'll keep it up. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. And tomorrow, what about the simple life? What about the simple life? Okay, that was an interesting little aside. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. And we're talking. Okay, sorry, Noble is asking about our new modded member server. We've been running Feed the Beast Infinity. No, Feed the Beast Beyond. And I guess everybody's bored of it. So I started a conversation on modded where you guys can talk about what you want to play. My personal preference is the simple life. But we'll do nominations. We'll do votes right now. Just talk about what you're interested in on modded, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. We'll set an official nomination period in a day or two, and then we'll get the new server up and running probably within a week or sometime next week. It should be pretty straightforward to get it all done. So let me know what you want to play if you're a member, obviously, on our Discord modded channel, and we'll come up with a consensus, come up with a new mod pack to run on the member server, and we'll take it from there. Again, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. I think tomorrow we're doing 7 Days to Die, and we're going to talk about the server restarts tomorrow as well. So tune in for that, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks very much, guys. Take it easy.